guys, it's Paul again for TESTDRIVEPH. So nandito tayo ngayon sa Ninoy Aquino Parks and Wildlife, a green oasis in the middle of Metro Manila that houses over 14,000 trees and species of birds and insects that are endemic here only in the Philippines. Now, what does that have to do with the car? Well, if you ask me, everything. Because these days, people wanna preserve with places like this. Buyers want more eco-friendly and sustainable choices when it comes to vehicles. Now, one of the options is, of course, electric vehicles. On this video, I might have the answer for you. So, as much as I want to be Kuya Kim, kayo na pa kami dito, kinakagap na kami ng lamok. So tara, let's go get my car. Okay guys, let's start with a walkthrough nitong Vinfast VF5. Now again guys, ang Vinfast VF5 is actually a 5-seater crossover. Now one of the more distinctive looks ng all Vinfast cars is of course this unique na front end, itong parang pa-V. And in this case na VF5 is you have this chrome accent that wraps all in front. What do you guys think? Actually, it grows on you when it comes to sa front-end design niya, no? And then, on the side here, ito yung headlights mo. This is halogen. And then, if we move to the side here, you have 17-inch na tires here. This is, of course, has disc brakes, front and back. And then, ang ground clearance natin dito is actually pretty high. This is about 168 millimeters. That's actually higher than even some MPVs. So tignan natin yung from the side here. Now, if you haven't seen this in person, ang kaparehas nito na size is similar to and something like the Kia Stonic and the Toyota Race. So let's move on to the back here. Now, titignan natin design just like sa front though. That V-shaped design that the Vinfast has also continues dito sa back. I'm starting to like it, to be honest, kasi it's quite unique you know. For example, at night, I'm sure this is gonna look very distinctive So here we have to yung VF5 na logo niya, no. Now, before we move on to the practicality, no, here's one thing that I would like to note, no. Ito yung una-una ko napansin when I got to test drive this, is yung build quality. Now, syempre expected na natin na sort of new company, no? Na sabihin natin mga 1990s, year 2000 na build quality kasi nga baguhan pa lang Pero if you look at the panel gaps here, or really the sort of build quality they have here, it's actually pretty impressive. Tapos you don't, when you sort of try to there's nothing that squeaks. Everything is flush. That's really quite impressive. And nalaman ko na lang actually, after mag-research ako ng konti about Vinfast, is yung planta pala nila is one of the most advanced sa Southeast Asia, maybe sa Asia. I think one of the best then is if you look into their other offerings dito lang sa Pilipinas, if you look into the VF7 and VF9, my goodness, even then, ganun din yung build quality nun is pretty crazy na, really impressive for such a young company to have that sort of build quality. In terms of color choices, the Vinfast VF5 is available in Vinfast Blue, Brahmi White, Crimson Red, and Neptune Gray. You also have this spoiler at the back and this small shark fin antenna. Alright, check naman natin itong practicality nitong Vinfast VF5. Now, dito sa back, You have a manual tailgate. Okay. Then there's your rear backup camera. There's your parking sensor there. And then ang size dito sa compartment ko sa likod, this is the trunk, is about 260 liters. Now if you'll notice, of course, itong rear niya, this is 60-40 split, and you have about 900 liters na. Alright, let's check natin itong rear passenger side ng Vinfast VF5. Pag open na door, it's not too bad. Okay naman. It's easily, I think you can easily just go inside the car here. Now, I'm 5'6", not exactly a small guy. So, headroom's okay. So, this is an electric car. Usually, completely flat naman yung floor mo here. Ito lang, medyo, siguro if you're like maybe 6 feet tall, medyo mahirap siguro kasi medyo maliit siya. Medyo, yung seats niya is actually a bit low. You have 2 cup holders here for the passengers here sa likod. Then you have a USB port there. I don't have a lot of legroom here kasi medyo mababa nga yung seats, but I'm okay. You know, I should be fine here kapag kahit long journeys. Ito, sasara ulit natin itong door, no? Para ma-check natin build quality. Yun again just like I said dun sa labas I'm really impressed with the build quality with this. When you think about it, no, this is like the first version ng Vinfast to really, like a global version. Because after all, this is a lot. There's also Vinfast cars that are being sold through, for example, even the United States. Pag upo ka naman sa gitna, it's fine. Yeah, malambot, hindi typical na matigas sa gitna. So that's good. And then, I guess, if you're not that big, I think you should be fine kahit tatlo kayo. Or probably, most ideal would be you have 2 adults here. And another thing is, yung AC performance niya is actually pretty good as well. So tara, let's check out the front. Alright. Now, here we are at the point of view interior look nitong Vinfast VF5. One of the things I want to note now, again, I keep saying this is the build quality. Although, this is the entry level na Vinfast, this actually feels pretty solid. Tapos yung feel ng buttons, it doesn't feel flimsy at all. Let's check natin yung horn na. Okay, that's a little bit parang winky-dinky, but that's fine. So ito, you have a flat bottom steering wheel here. Tapos, again, you have your 7-inch instrument cluster there. You have your 8-inch na infotainment that has Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. Again, sinabi ko na, yung AC performance is really good. Init-init, no? Ito, nasa half setting na tayo here and malamig naman. No problems there. Tapos, dito naman tayo sa side, no? There are, of course, most of it is plastic. But at the very least, this feels pretty solid. And then ito, you have a small touch point here. Dito sa armrest mo here on the driver door. Then you have chrome accents dito sa air conditioning mo. Seeing out, it's not a problem. Medyo pa-curve siya actually here. Checking out the 8-inch infotainment touchscreen, it's surprisingly responsive. You have your usual shortcuts for your AC controls. Changing drive modes is quick as well. Of course, it tells you your current battery charge and range. It has Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. Also, through the touchscreen is where you can adjust things like creep mode, region level, and the like. Overall, we think the software that Vinfast has is pretty solid, even with its small size. Check natin yung quality ng video camera, by the way. This is actually better than average, especially for this price, no? This is pretty good, actually. I'm pretty surprised sa quality niya. So, okay guys, dito naman tayo sa center console, no? Pansin ko lang talaga ito at medyo alukin ko, no? Wala, ang tibay. Talaga yung build quality niya is top notch. So for example, ito namang gear shifter natin, no? You have reverse, you have neutral, and you have drive. Very, very simple. Tapos, eto, nandito na yung 12-volt socket mo. Pwede na rin, you know, okay na ako dun. And then you have your one USB port there. Ito, I'm sure some people will actually like this. This is your manual handbrake. You have a little bit of space here to put in probably your coins or cards. And then, ito, you have a little bit of space here probably for a bag. Tapos if you look at the side here, pwede naman na. Okay naman na yung size dito for your cups. Now guys, this being an electric car, syempre we have to talk about the charging and also yung range. Now for this Vinfast VF5, we have more than 320 kilometers or 326 kilometers of range on the full charge with this VF5. Now, malayo na yun. Kasi for example, kung gusto mo punta ng Baguio, mag-charge ka lang around Rosario, just to be sure you're good So balikan, okay na yun. And then for places like Zambales, pwede ka nang, hindi ka na kailangan mag-charge. Balikan, pwedeng-pwede. Of course, in common, you know, places like example, sa Tagaytay, you're perfectly fine. And then, for example, if you're in the city, sabihin na natin, nagta-travel ka ng 50 or 40 to 50 kilometers per day, well, halos buong linggo, hindi ka na kailangan mag-charge. And then, when it comes naman dito sa charging, this VF5 can charge from 10% to around 70% charge in about 30 minutes. Plus, the nice thing is, Type 2 na yung charger niya, hindi siya yung old version. And ready na siya dun sa standard na magiging Type 2 charger natin when it comes dito sa Pilipinas. And then, ito guys, meron lang ako konting go. Now, I actually saw a poll na nagtatanong kung bakit nag-switch sila sa EV. Here are some of their answers. Ang sagot ni Jay is, I never have to watch gas prices go up and down ever again. Of course, we have other answers, like for example, acceleration and of course, instant torque nga. And then, this one I like, I bought an EV to save myself from burning money while I idle in Manila traffic. That makes sense, you know? At least kapag nakahinto ka, you're not actually burning fossil fuels, you're not contributing to the pollution, and stuff like that. Now I know, a lot of people, it's a very complicated answer, and it's more than just that. But at the very least, for EV owners, they want to do their part when it comes to the environment. So, upload to them, for sure. Alright guys, this one thing I want to talk about now, which is of course yung ownership or experience when you buy an electric car. Now many years ago kasi, when it comes sa electric car, syempre, they were rare and of course they were quite expensive. Even now, you know, probably before the Vinfast VF5, no, the typical sort of electric car would be anything above 1.5 million. But this Vinfast VF5 is, if it's just a car, you can actually get that at 1,191,000. But Vinfast is offering this with a battery subscription of 992,000. So the way the Vinfast battery subscription works is you'll be able to purchase the car at a cheaper price of 992,000, and then you pay a monthly fee of 5,800. What you get is you get a comprehensive coverage for battery maintenance for 1,500 kilometers of driving. If, for example, the battery performance goes down to 70%, Vinfast will gladly replace it and giving you peace of mind. Of course, may warranty pa yan ng 7 years or 160,000 kilometers, whichever comes first. Alright, so dito tayo sa Moa area, dito sa Asiana. Okay. Alright, so I'm gonna try to floor rate din, no? 60 kilometers na agad. This can accelerate, by the way, for about 10.9 seconds. You know, not the fastest. Pero I think if you're gonna accelerate to around up to 60 lang, no? Bilis na eh. I really can't get over the build quality. I really can't get over it. It's just astonishing that you have a car so young as this, this sort of build quality. So yeah, we're gonna floor it a little bit. Now, in terms of safety, the Vinfast VF5 has the basics covered with standard 6 airbags. It has a rear cross traffic alert, blind spot detection, the standard door opening warning. You also have a rear parking assist and a rear view camera with guidelines. How's the suspension? Well, medyo soft naman, hindi naman kasi masyadong malubak dito sa ASEAN or dito sa MOA area. Pero, well, maybe it's not the quietest. Tapos ito, try natin itong turning radius niya. No? Okay. Naman, I'm okay with it. I think yung lock to lock nyo lang, napansin ko kanina when you sort of, maybe if you're gonna make a 3-point turn, siguro konti pang adjustment with that. Comfort naman, seats here, pretty good, very, very sportive. While the Vinfast VF5 has a fair amount of delay on acceleration and has noticeable body roll, driving sensibly in the city is really where it's most suited. And you can't beat that over 300 kilometers of range that you get on a full charge. Ito yung napapansin ko talaga sa Vinfast na to. You're like blown away na. Bago pa lang yung sasakyan, itong brand na to, pero it's legit eh. It's really legit. So there you have it, guys, a quick look of the Vinfast VF5. So what are my thoughts about it? First off, I'm very, very happy to know that there's a new player when it comes to EVs, especially with Vinfast being so close to our shores. I actually feel medyo proud pa nga eh. Then, when it comes dito naman sa sakyan itself, I think as a city car, I think it's perfectly fine. You have Android Auto and Apple CarPlay. They did not skip when it comes to safety. And driving it is very typical of an EV. It's also perfectly practical as well. So to me, Vinfast has a very strong offering with the Vinfast VF5. And most especially, of course, is the ease of ownership with their battery subscription. I think it's a fresh approach when it comes to EV. It really solves a lot of the problems when it comes to newcomers, when it comes to EVs. So I hope you like this video. Make sure that you subscribe to the channel. If you have any questions with the Vinfast VF5, I'll be leaving the contact details now, Vinfast Philippines. So, my name is Paul again. Make sure that you visit our website at testdrive.com.ph. Follow me on social media. I'll see you on the next video. Bye for now.